Got it.
All righty.
All right. All right. Hello, Elatom.
Hi. Hello there.
Hello. Welcome. Welcome, everybody, today. I've got a great opportunity today. I've been following Elatom for about a year now. I've become a big fan of his. He's a really incredible person. He's a meditation master. And I've been a meditator now for 17 years, and I've been a real lover of this and exploring this world of mindfulness, and I've been passionately following other professional meditators, and Elatom is one of the great meditators that I do follow. And he's also an author. What's the name of your book, Elatom?
It's Okay to Be Healthy, and also Human Photosynthesis 101.
Human photosynthesis, right. So actually taking the sun energy and turning it into energy for your life. And this is something that I've really gotten into this year. So I can't wait to talk to you about that. So that's the topic of his book. How exciting is that? I didn't realize that was the topic of his book. I got to get a copy of your book, sir. And the third thing I want to say, he's a breatharian. This is the first breatharian interview I've ever had, and I'm really excited to discuss and share some of that experience. And just before I start into this discussion, I just want to say that, you know, moving towards a pranic lifestyle, an alternative energy lifestyle. When I say alternative energy, I mean alternative from food energy, from water energy, from juices, from fluids. We're moving to a lifestyle where you're talking about getting your energy from alternative sources, from the rest of your life, not just from your food, but it's a different mindset that's required. And it's not something that you can just do. I'm not suggesting that my clients just try and do this. This is something that you can move towards. It's a transition that must happen, that we must move in this direction, that we start getting into more, less of a fight with our life, getting into more harmony with our life that allows this to happen. Reducing the stress in your life is what allows this to happen. But it's a change of mindset, and a transition must happen. A detoxification must happen. And it's a change of food, a change of fluid, a change of movement, a change of behavior and practice, a change of lifestyle. And that's what this man has done. And I'm here to learn and share experience with him. Thank you very much, Elatom. Could you first of all just tell us a little bit about your experience and how you got here and how you came to realize these things? And
well, I've been on this path for 18 years now. And the breatharianism is basically what you said, is eat no food at all or very little. And what we mean by very little, yes, there is what you call conscious eating. There is different levels of breatharianism. Some will eat once every 3 days, once a week, which still broke the standard of what we thought was possible. So those are still breatharians altogether. And then people have to pick and choose on different seasons in their life also, because if you're raising children, you might carry your behavior differently compared to where they get grown. You see what I'm saying? Those are social avenues because we are social creatures. And then depending on what type of relationship you're in and stuff like this. So there's many different types of breatharians creating their lives based on the situations that they're in. But they're all breatharians on many different levels. But the grand ultimate is, so people can be clear, is not eating or drinking at all.
That is awesome, and I love what you said there, because what I've found is that as I've been detoxifying my body by moving to more live, raw foods and drinking distilled water, is that my needs for food have come right down. and I found that I'm eating now once a day. So I'm fasting for about 20 to 23 hours often, and then eating once a day for half an hour or an hour, sometimes eating up to 2 hours, all fruit, and then fasting again. However, I do have a family. I've got 3 kids and a wife, and my wife is not to that point. My kids obviously are not there. And so on the weekends, I do eat more vegetables and salads and have a couple of meals. But I'm just, kind of trying to understand what's happening here is that I'm realizing that I'm getting more energy and wanting to be in the sunlight. I'm having more contact with the earth. I'm drinking a lot of distilled water to rinse through when I am drinking. But I'm even finding that I don't need to drink. But I do indulge in food with my family, so socially. But my need for food, I find, is almost really negligible. And I just find it crops up sometimes here and there where I do have an appetite.
Exactly. And see, you're catching just what I'm trying to say. Because as you got your family and you're in your relationship as being married, that is good what you're doing. You don't have to put that other extreme on the whole family. You should enjoy with them and pick and choose. But as time go on, your kids are going to get older. Your interest is going to change. You'll have a lot more time for yourself. Then you could take that journey to another level. So basically, you are on a breatharian journey right now.
I think so.
This is wonderful.
I think so, because I feel this calling to me. And that's why I'm often commenting to you, because I'm feeling I'm in full relationship and understanding and connection with what you're saying. However, I'm not there at the point of no food. And I was wondering what that was. And that's wonderful. Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you for.
Because it's sort of like now, my son is grown, so I don't have to think about what he got to eat for dinner, what he got to eat for lunch. Because just by you taking care of somebody else with that food, that energy is still on you.
Okay, I see.
Now, since that energy is gone, that gave me a chance to take my breatharian level to another level.
Awesome.
So it goes in degrees of your life. It'll never end once you get this information.
Awesome. Awesome. Wonderful.
So,
wonderful.
This is awesome.
Yes.
It's like a jack in the box. Once you really understand this information, even if you try to close the box, the jack in the box keep coming back up.
All right. So let me just clarify. Elton, you're not eating or drinking right now.
Now, dealing with this, with the level I'm at, and due to the job I'm doing, yes, no eating and drinking is required. And I had to come to this level too. Oh, go ahead.
Yes. How long has it been?
And I had to come to this. Now, the drinking is for social circles. You have the power for social circles. But going into that, that'll be a whole lesson for this broadcast, and it'll be hard for people to understand what we're talking about. Because even on these levels, oh, go ahead.
How long has it been since you've eaten or drink? How
now,
long
that's another question that I don't even keep track of. You know, like, this isn't an Alcohol Anonymous. It's been 2 months and 3 days. This is a lifestyle. Because I get these questions all the time. Like
I don't even know how long it's been since I've eaten or drinking.
Right. You're not keeping track. But you got to keep in mind.
Hey, if you're still keeping track of how many days since you had a cigarette, or how many days since you had a cup of coffee, or how many days since you had a piece of pizza, then you're not there yet.
Right. And especially, it's not part of your identity. Especially, just say, for instance, like one time I did 2 weeks not drinking. I was doing a conference in Italy, me and my son. And then some friends said, let's go to the cafe. All right, let's go to the cafe. So, of course, I'm about to break this to be with my friends and be social, which is a good time. Now, what do I do in my mind? Okay, I got to start the counter back because I had something to drink with my friends. You're not on that level. That's too much no more. Just be yourself and understand that this is your identity. You understand? Just because you drank some at a social gathering with your friends don't mean that stuck with you forever or contaminated you. And that's what people are getting into, and that right there should be stopped, because that does great dishonesty to the skill. And even when you try to teach this and give it to people, because you know in your mind, first of all, from our last paradigm of thought, you can't live without eating, period. Okay, now we broke that already. Even if you was to go 2 weeks
right. So
to
let me just interfere with you there for a second, just because I think some people will have some understanding there. What you're saying is that we've always grown up with this thought that we need to eat. We've always, it's really a behavior, it's really a habit. We can move ourselves out of it, and we can break that paradigm that has us attached to food. We don't have all of these needs that we think we have. We can move past that paradigm. We can move to this new paradigm where we can actually gather our energy from the prana, from the sun, from the earth, from the thought, from within. We can move to this new paradigm of energy can be provided to us in a different way.
Exactly. Because what you're going to do too is, if you take on that mind also, like how I said, how you picking and choosing with your family, you taking the different stages, this also scares people with this lifestyle because they don't know how to handle it, and it can isolate you. You don't need to do that to yourself. So you follow me? And then you want this lifestyle to be joyous and fun instead of being a burden, and it's not going to be attractive. This is the best lifestyle I know, when you know how to do it and you understand the knowledge. You have the power that you don't need to eat or drink. That's not going to kill you, but you still could be a social creature. You understand? Now, of course, eating heavier foods hurts the body more. So you'll move out of that. You understand? And then the drinking too much will hurt the body more. You'll fail out of your evolution. So you'll get out of that. So now we were saying too about what's healthy and what's good for you. Even on the drinking levels, there's a level called a liquidarian. That's a person who don't even judge drinks no more. Because you'll hear a lot of breatharians will actually say, I just had a cappuccino. Why would they get a cappuccino and it's supposed to be a breatharian? First of all, they don't drink to live no more. They out of that paradigm. They don't drink every day like a normal human being. They're drinking for fun and social. It's a whole different ball game on the stuff that you'll hear once you come into this knowledge. Now, leaving the physical foods alone is a lot more easier, once you get here, than the liquids, but the liquids is still easy once you understand the science. Because everything you put in your body makes the fluid so it could pass through even more. And what do we call that? The mucus. But your body produces all the fluids inside the body. The blood, the cerebral spinal fluid is created within the body. The key is to get that flowing smoothly with less toxicity, and it's just like a river flowing. It does not need no outside influence of drinking liquids. So you'll find out too that liquids will get bad to you because you'll keep using the bathroom and you'll get tired of that. And everything you put in the body is going to come out. So this is how you get over the liquid journey, because it will become annoying. You got to keep using the bathroom and you'll get tired of that. It is awesome to be a self-sustaining vehicle once you come into this new field.
Okay, you touched on something a little further back in that conversation that's been a problem for me, and you touched on the isolation, because that's what I have found, and I don't really want that, because I've found that my reduced need for food and liquid has kind of had people, kind of judging me and saying things to me that, you know, I'm being unsafe, or I'm being irresponsible, or I'm being dangerous, or I'm recommending dangerous things, or, you know, that I'm actually bad, or that I'm evil or negative, or, you know,
Right.
so you get that kind of negative feedback from people, and that kind of makes you withdraw into your personality and not really want to share what's going on with you. And I felt that not really wanting to open up and not really wanting to communicate. So I'm really grateful for this now relationship that I have with you, that you're sharing, because you're just breathing life into me right now with what you're saying. You're just bringing encouragement to me right now with what you're saying, and you're pulling me forward, and I'm really appreciating that from you right now. And you know, because other people don't understand, they like attack, right? And when they don't understand, they try to break apart, and they say that you're a liar, or that you're not telling the truth, or that you're negative. So,
and this is
exactly.
This is why I'm glad we're having this broadcast, and this is why I took it upon myself to be more of a visible teacher, because not only I want to help people come into this who wants to, it's also to educate the public so they won't put people into the corner like this. See, once everybody has this idea, it will make the next generation, it'll be a lot easier for them, instead of, because people could be very mean out of ignorance, people in the corner. So you do have a lot of breatharians who are scared to come out. So this is something that's bold. This is something that's bold that I've taken on myself, to come out here and be that one to take these shots, to take these hits. So even when you ask me about fluids, and I say, due to the job I'm into now, no, I'm not going to drink around a lower frequency vibration. I'm going to make sure it understands it get put under the table altogether. Because this is, now listen at this, this is actually a science. It isn't far-fetched on what we're talking about. We're dealing with energy and energy connections. And just like when we're using our external devices, not see,
energy,
right?
With energy. Yes, interacting with the energy that's real in life, in your life, interacting with your life better.
Exactly. Exactly. So we can understand it now, since we got the external technology. And these energies is also passing through the human body. All we got to do is make the right energy connections. You learn your mudras and meditation. These are energy connections. Putting a tongue on the roof of your mouth, proper body structure, all of these little things that we took for granted actually are making energy connections within the body. And there's so much into it now. Now it makes sense, and we have a direction on how to use it or where to go. And all of it should lead to some type of self-sustainability, some type of food freedom if one chooses to. Now, and not only it connects science, it also connects religion, because breatharianism is not a religion, but it holds the four components that puts a religion together. All religions believe in a creator.
Can I just interrupt you for a second there, just before you start into religion, spirituality, because I've come from a background of deep spirit, and I often talk about spirit energy, and I often talk about the spirit inside of ourselves, or the higher self, or the subconscious mind, and reprogramming the subconscious mind. So I've come from that background of spirit, and I just want to make sure that when I'm talking about spirit, that I clarify that this is not religion, but it is spirit, because it's not religion, because it's not separate at all. It doesn't separate you from anybody else. It's inclusive. It's not about having to do a certain thing in order to have access to it. It's not about, praying to a certain God or person or deity or Jesus. It's not about accepting a certain person. It's not about going to church. It's about the church within you. It's about the power and energy that we have all access to. It's about the power of our universe. It's about love.
Right.
It's about passion. It's about what's within each and every single one of us, and we all have access to. Please continue, Elatom.
Oh, absolutely. And what you just said, all religious people understand it because everybody is on some type of spiritual journey, just in different compartments. Because the four pillars to hold them all together, just what you said, is that creator or creative forces. Even if you deal with creative forces that usually catch a person's mind. Also, there's some type of communication or what we call prayer with those forces. Number 3 is, how should I say, some type of method that you're using. That's what people different titles of Jew, Christians, Muslim. Those are just titles, but there's some type of relationship with these forces. So those 4 pillars is what everybody is dealing with on some type of level. So what makes breatharianism unique, it deals with those 4 pillars, but it's the method it uses. The method on the communication with the creative forces. The method it uses on the relationship, because this is a continual relationship as your body gets harmonized in nature dealing with universal laws. And these universal laws, they seem invisible, but they govern everybody no matter what your title or belief is. And you'll find it to be real because when you're in alignment.
Consciously or unconsciously, we're involved in interacting with these forces in our life, in our world, and for most people, it's unconscious that they're interacting in this way. And for most people, that's why they're constantly bumping into the same problems and circumstances and situations. And if they want to change their life, they need to change their mindset and the way that they interact with their life. That includes food, that includes fluids, that includes their relationships with their partner, with their career, with money, with their health, with their physical life. It's a total change of mindset with the way that you're interacting with your world that needs to happen.
Absolutely. That's it right there on a nutshell.
Thank you.
Change your perception. It's like a program you're changing, just like in a computer. That's what needs to be changed. Because I see a lot of people come at me with some new method to come into the breatharian journey. And yes, that is needed. But the main thing that needs to be changed is the program, your perception on how you're in this realm. Because these same forces is governing everybody. No different forces for this person and this person. We're living in an ocean of energy, an ocean of light. And this light is going through us and around us. So the more knowledge you gain of how to utilize these forces will guarantee you a better life, better quality health, better quality relationships. And yes, when we go back to better health, even if you don't choose to go all the way to be a breatharian of not eating, you should at least care about what goes into your body energetically, and also to eat very little so you can prolong your life and your happiness.
Awesome. So we can go into this for hours, but I just don't want to make this video too long, Elatom. So I do want to move on to a couple of other things.
Yes.
First of all, really quickly, you said it's your book topic. You got to talk to me about the sun energy and how it relates to all of this. Talk to me about the sun. I tell my customers to get into the sunlight, to look at the sun daily. Can you please expand on this? You've written a book on photosynthesis. Please share a little bit quickly there, Elatom.
Well, the sun is awesome. We live in a magnetic field of the sun. All of us do, no matter if you're further up in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere. And by us being in this magnetic field, it's all about electromagnetism, because we have this electromagnetic field that's coming off of our bodies. Now, this is free energy that we have access to every day. Just being in nature, you are picking up the negative ions that are healthy from the body. And even standing on the ground, especially barefoot, that's what you should start at least trying to do. Making that
I'm
contact.
doing that, yes, and recommending that to all of my customers. That's necessary. That's magnetism connecting with the earth. Continue. Sorry, sir.
Absolutely. And you're like the conduit within the middle of this powerful cosmic energy and this earth energy that's always running through the body. So if you want to really go for some health, just that easy, this is why we call it allowing. This is taking place both day and night. And dealing with this sun frequency, once the sunlight hits the body, it's causing so many interactions that we don't even know about. Even our pineal gland immediately start giving off serotonin to detoxify the blood. You had nothing to do about it at night when the sun leaves. Because even though we talk about the sun, the lunar power, I'm going to throw this at you, is still showing you the sun phases. It's still part of the sun. It's just sending that cooling energy to the body. It still has its healing components. So your melatonin, your pineal gland, is sending off melatonin through the blood now to detoxify it also and to give you rest and repair the body at night. So both of these entities is dealing with, our body is hooked up with it, is very powerful in healing the body. So you're dealing with the moon phases and all those, also the solar energy within the daytime, coupled with the earth energy, and you're that conductor of energy in the middle. So of course, the better it off it is for you to live, the better it off for you to grow, because these forces is sustaining us.
Awesome. Okay, sir, that's wonderful. I could talk to you for an hour about that. Before we end, I've got to talk about this. The mainstream media, the ketogenic diet, the paleo diet. We need protein. We need B12. We need this. We need that. You know what? I've talked about it enough, sir. Can you please address all of this bullshit?
Okay, back when I used to eat meat, the main thing they used to say, you need B12 and B6. When I left meat alone altogether and became vegan, one thing I ran into, my head was real light and I was forgetting things. Until one young woman said to me, eat some blackstrap molasses, that'll help your body to create B12. And once it creates the B12, you don't need it no more. So what I'm trying to say here, and that actually worked, about 3 days of doing that, I wasn't getting weak no more. I wasn't forgetting things. That was the indication my body was now producing B12. Now, due to our last lifestyle of eating meats, eating the heavier foods, and eating every day, a lot of things became dormant within our body and they need jump-started again. So that's why we're talking about being more holistic, getting out into the sun, getting more into nature, to get the body to get out of its dormancy of eating all those salts, earth salts, and sugars we've been dealing with. Once those things come online, you don't need that type of stuff from other things anymore. You don't, that's why Breatharian won't talk about herbs. You ask me about fruit, I think fruit is child's play. And a fruitarian will say, what? But that's the truth. Your body's online producing those things it needs, so it does not matter. Even dealing with water, but the Breatharian's out of that.
Okay. So just to back it up to my customer's level, we're talking about making a transition in your life where you're moving from the processed foods from the North American diet, from the meats, the dead foods, the processed foods, the foods that have all these so-called needs that the mainstream public, that the medical community, that the nutritionists, that the personal trainers, that all the health experts, that everyone's talking about at the water cooler, that you need this,
right,
you need that, all of this stuff. We've been brainwashed. It's created a paradigm of thought that we need this stuff. We're stuck on this thought pattern that we need it. We need to transition ourselves from needing that to actually moving towards a lifestyle where actually we realize that we don't have any needs at all.
Exactly. And I know just what you're talking about.
This doesn't happen overnight. It's a little bit of a transition or a detoxification period that must happen. That could take 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It could take a period of time. You can move through the detoxification to whatever level you choose. You can move through the process to whatever level you want. You can come to a point that you have no needs, no protein requirement needs, no nutrient requirement needs, none.
Right.
You can move to that.
And you're exactly right. All of that is out the window. Because the hardest people
what I'm trying to say to people. People don't understand that. But you've got to move through the process in order to get there.
Exactly. Because the hardest people to make the process is those who are saying that this is the diet, this is the way. Those are the hardest ones to break. You have to break those minerals, those vitamins, all of that. That's why a liquidarian is a lot at a higher level than a juicitarian. This is why I said a breatharian to drink a cappuccino, and somebody in health to say, what is that? He broke that mindset of what keeps you healthy. That is not keeping you healthy. It is a mindset. All of that is out the window. So you're exactly right.
Awesome. Okay. Now, you've talked about something else that I really want to touch on before we get to 60 minutes. I really want to wrap this video up within 60 minutes, but I do want to touch on a couple other things that I've heard you speak about that I think are very valuable for everyday people to hear. Sexual transmutation. You've talked about channeling sexual energy. Can you bring that into a little message? What does our sexual energy, our passion, our goals, our desire, that's all very closely linked. How does that come into this? What does sex have to do with this? What does integrity maybe have to do with this? What does being integral with our sexual energy have to do with this? What about not having sex? What about maintaining sex with one partner or multiple partners maybe? Or what about monogamy? Maybe you can sum all of this up into something, sir. Actually, maybe even,
absolutely.
Maybe even touch on homosexuality, bisexuality, sexuality altogether, sexual energy, sir. Please talk about this.
Sexual energy is very powerful. It's a creative force. So this is why me and you sitting here, because somebody had sex. Everything that's alive came here by sex. This is the power behind that force. And your life is dictated by your sexual decision. This is why as soon as me and you started talking, you talked about your family. Your family is there because of your sexual decision. You being married, your children being there. That is not far-fetched. So everybody's decision throughout the day is being dictated by their sexual energy.
Fantastic.
This is how powerful it is. Also, it's the foundation of being chakra, down where your sexual organs is at. So we're talking about transmuting that energy. Instead of using it to come out in the old ritualistic way of the physical sex, now you're taking that energy, because it's always warm down in that area, and that's where our sexual fluids are made, even though they begin in the brain. However, they have the power, because heat loves to travel upwards, to travel back upwards. And we get that feeling of being horny. That comes from the word hormones. Your hormones just got filled up, so you get this horny feeling. But instead of bursting out the old-fashioned way, now you got a chance to use it in a whole nother ballgame for your health, and also to better your sexual well-being or your thinking process. This is the foundation of breatharianism, believe it or not, because it takes a whole lot of energy to create the cells of your sexual fluid. Why? Because it's going to create a another human being. It has the power to. So it's using the best cells in your body. When you allow your sexual fluid to reabsorb itself back into your blood flow, it starts strengthening the organs. That's where the word orgasm comes from. It actually comes from your organs. You're taken from your organs. But when you allow that fluid to go back into your organs, you'd be surprised how it will increase your energy. It will strengthen your body, especially when you're in some type of exercise. Your meditation and your thinking will become a lot sharper. Your physical body is sexual energy. Even the cells in your body is constantly regenerating themselves. They're making sex, dying away, building forth new cells. Your body is sexual. So I could go on and on this topic, but it's so important because if you have sexual diarrhea, spending so much of that sexual energy, then that's where you have to replace it with external sources over and over again. You're really killing the body like a tree giving up sap. But
Awesome.
when you learn to harness that energy and allow it to come back up through the spinal cord, this is where we get the Kundalini serpents and the caduceus that's in the medical field. They know if you allow that center within your body through meditation and allow that sexual energy to build up, it will better your health and also sharpen your thinking. And this is the whole basis of a sharper and more perfect life. Now, soon dealing with the sun technology and the sexual technology, I could go on and on because I do have a training packet coming out soon that will be on my website. And I'm with another woman who is also celibate and also does the sun gazing. We have a packet coming out dealing with the sun and sexual technology.
Okay, so are
that
you
will
celibate,
be coming out soon on my website. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Will not spill the seed at all. Celibacy is the foundation of my breatharian journey.
Awesome.
This is why I talk so earnestly about it in my teaching.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
There's a lot of explosive energy within that sperm.
Okay, very good. Very good, sir. That explains a lot of things just right there. I want to make sure that we talk a little bit about some of the things that you do. You run camps to educate people and teach people how to evolve and move through process transition, detoxify their body, prepare their body to live on less.
Oh, absolutely. When they come to the retreats, see, it's one thing just to hear the concept of breatharianism. Because keep in mind that the last program we had that you have to eat every day, you must eat in order to die, somebody installed that program in you every day through repetition. So that's why when you try to come into this process or you stop eating right now, you can't do it because your program in your body and your mind will not allow it to happen. So when you get a chance to come to a retreat, you got a teacher such as myself who's talking this new idea, downloading this new program to you every day through straight teaching. Also through the meditations, the qigongs, all throughout the day, cultivating that energy, building it up, allowing the body to repair itself. So these retreats are very, very effective on getting a person jump-started to go back out into the world. Now, your real retreat or your real obstacle isn't the retreat. Is it hard to live without food? Because about the third or fourth day, everybody in the retreat will realize how easy this is. They can see themselves doing it. But the whole thing is now, where are you going to fit it into your life now? Because there is some changes to make in your overall life, and that's what's going to take time. So your great obstacle, of course, is when you come back out into life, back into your situation, dealing with the work, dealing with relationships with food, family, friends, social gatherings. That's the big test then, but it's really not a test. It just became easier because now, deep down inside, you know this exists and you know you can do it.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
So sir, just to make sure, you've got some retreats coming up?
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we have one in Bulgaria. that's going to be 11-day retreat in June. So that's posted also on my Facebook account. And also the Canary Islands is usually where I have my main retreats. So I have one coming up in August there, the next one.
Okay.
And also I'm doing one that, this is going to be a big one, here in Egypt. This is where I'm at now.
You're in Egypt, right, right.
Yeah, so this is going to be in November. So this is getting people really packed up for this one, which is going to make this one different. Of course, we got the pyramids that everybody heard about.
I think
The
I got
energy
that
is
one. I think I got to be at that one, at the pyramids, man. I got to come to the pyramids in November.
Oh, absolutely. And
wow.
There's a lot of great energy around it. And for right now, I'm going to start setting one here, continually here in Egypt, especially being on the continent of Africa. This is,
the mother,
in my understanding, the first retreat that's been here on this continent. So it's a whole nother energy, a whole nother influence. Especially being here in Egypt, the people are mostly Muslim, so they're into that thing of praying, submitting. There's a whole nother energy that will help with the cultivation of the breatharian process. It's going to be wonderful. It's a new experiment, but we'll see. It is beautiful. So this will give people a chance not only to go through the breatharian process, we'll also take them on some tours in Egypt to see the pyramids.
Wow.
And feel the
I want to do that. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Work with their own systems and their ideas.
Amazing, 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 amazing.
It's wonderful.
Thank you so much, Elatom. Thank you so much for today. Thank you so much for gifting me this time and this great teaching. So valuable. Stuff that I never would be able to find anywhere. I found it on Facebook from following you and hearing it in bits and pieces. To have an opportunity to speak with you for an hour, like that's a lifetime of learning in 1 hour. Thank you so much for this. And I look forward to interacting with you further, sir.
So also, just to tell them where to find more of the ideas and retreats, it will be on my website on www.elitom.com.
I'll make sure that I'll make sure I include your website and your Facebook page associated with anything that I put out with this video. You could say there again what it is?
www.elitom.com.
All right.
I forgot the Elamine.
I'll make sure that everybody has access to get in touch with you for sure. You're a valuable resource. Thank you for what you do.
All right. Thank you for having me for this interview.
Awesome, buddy.
I hope we helped a lot of people.
Thank you. Bye-bye.